Hey, Dmitry, hope you are doing well. So let's give others a few minutes to join and we will get started. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Nice to see you here. Nice to see you back on the lesson. I hope more people join. Some people will be watching the video. So let's get started. So first of all, today, what we are going to do today, we're going to talk about resume preparation and the interview tips, how to be the best candidate, and actually some of the insights to understand and to be successful during the interview process. Because most of the people, they think that they are looking for the job, but in real, not they're looking for the job. Company is looking for the candidate, and you should be the best candidate for them. And it's usually not the company interviewing you, it's also you interviewing the company, trying to understand what they need, and then suggest yourself as the solution for their problems. And then they will hire you as the solution for the problem they have. So that's the main approach. Also, what we're going to do, I'm going to see who have completed the homework, and I will present two bonuses for the people who either just attended this free course, or for those people who have completed the homeworks, and they will get some nice discounts. So that's it. Then let's get started. But before we start, let me ask you if you have some questions before we start. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Then let me share my screen. And yeah, probably we'll start with resume. We'll spend some time on the resume preparation. And after that, we will probably make some short break to make some tea or coffee or just bring a water. And then we will continue with the resume. Are you guys able to see my screen? What do you see right now? Do you see the chat? Yeah, okay. Got it. So let's start with the resume creation rules. So I have for you the example of manual QA resume. So this person puts everything that they have learned during the manual course. And this is what we probably put because during the manual course, most of the people, usually all the people, they also learn JavaScript in parallel because it's free. And even if they don't decide to go to automation course, they can mention the JavaScript, HTML, CSS in their resume. So this is an example of the manual tester resume. And also we have some resume creation rules that we need to go through and then explain if you will be creating the resume, how it should look like, right? So first of all, the first rule. So specific job requires a specific resume. So that means if you are applying for a specific position and that specific position has specific requirements, you have to comply with them. So when I was applying to my current position, there were some interesting points describing that the person they're looking for. And it was saying like something like deal in honest and open way, right? And then be open for the challenges, take the responsibility for something, right? So they were describing the candidate they're looking for. Not only the technical skills, but also soft skills, the kind of personality they were looking for. So when you are applying for some kind of position like that, and when you are applying for any position, you have to comply with that. So what you do, you actually copy those statements about the person they're looking for into your resume. So let me give you an example. So let's go to LinkedIn, for example. So I usually use LinkedIn for job search because it has pretty nice job search functionalities. So you go to jobs over here, and then you look for something, for example, manual QA, like this. You look for manual QA, and you see in the United States, there are like more than 2.5 thousand positions, almost 2.6, right? Manual QA positions, guys. And since most of the jobs right now are remote, this is an amazing opportunity for you to find a job, because previously you were like blocked by your location, right? You were limited by your location. So if you live in some small town, you have to like look for the jobs in your small town, and there are like maybe 1 or 2 jobs, and maybe there are 0 jobs. And right now you don't have to be limited by that, because right now you're looking for a job anywhere in the United States. If you are located in the United States, or for example, Canada, you look entirely in Canada, because most of the jobs are remote and you don't have to be limited by only your local market. So all of those 2.6 thousand results for you. So first of all, you just open, for example, one of the job descriptions, and then you start reading what they are looking for, right? And if you think that something is really important for them, so extreme attention to details, right? So you just copy this into your resume, for example, over here. And extreme attention to details, because this is somebody was creating this job description. For example, a key manager, or like me, right? Who's looking for people. And then they're looking for specific kind of people. Why that happens? Because usually what we deal with, a lot of people are lazy. For example, I came to my previous company and there was a team of 10 people already. Most of them, they never been QA testers. They came from help desk support team. So they just were on the phones helping people to solve the problem they were having with the system. And since they know the system good, so somebody decided to move them to QA team. So when they were building QA team, they have decided to not bring the people from the market, but bring the people from the help desk team. So those people didn't know how to do QA properly. They were just brought to the team and said, okay, go and test. Whatever developers are producing, go and test. But how to test properly, what to do, nobody told them. So when I came, I had to build everything from scratch. And the problem was a lot of people were working there for like 15 years. They were lazy. They were not proactive, not motivated. They never tried to face some challenges or take the responsibility for something. And for me, that was a big problem. So I was looking for super motivated people who were super motivated, proactive, and were showing their activity, proactivity, right? So I was describing that in my job descriptions. And I was telling that I'm looking for some proactive people who are not afraid to face challenges, who are not afraid to take the responsibility for important things, who is proactive, and so on. And I was interviewing and looking because many people applied for the position, but only few of them were proactive and able to take the responsibility for something. And just an example, there is a complex task and there are like 10 people. And I'm asking, hey, who wants to take the responsibility for this? And nobody. Everybody stays silent. Everybody is hiding in the corner, not taking this responsibility for this task. I was not that kind of person. So when I started my career, I was saying that, hey, I will take it because that's my job. I will figure out, because anyways, it doesn't matter if you know how to do that. If there are no people who's able to do that quickly, you can take it. You will take the responsibility, you will learn, you will go to developers, ask some questions, and you will do just your best. Nobody tells you that you have to do something unusual and do some magic. No, you have to do your best, whatever you can do with this. So you take the responsibility, you'll be the first one and saying that, hey, I will take it, no problem. And then you say, I will take it, no problem. And the third time you're saying, I will take it, no problem. Your lead or manager will say that, I want this person to be my helper, my lead, my substitute. And this is what happened to me. So I just joined the company, worked there for 3 months, or maybe, yeah, like 3 months. And my lead have decided to leave me as a substitute when he went to vacation. Not the senior guys who worked there for 7 years. I just worked there for 3 months. And comparing to the other guys who worked there for 7 years, he decided to leave me as a lead when he was missing. And I started my leading career from that. And then I was hired, then I was brought to Apple as a lead. And then I was hired as a manager because I was taking the responsibility. So if people have problems with that, with the proactivity, and this is a big problem everywhere, because everywhere, like 80% of people, they just want to come to work, get salary, and do nothing. Simply just sit as much as possible and nobody touch them, watch videos, watch YouTube, and do nothing. So that's the big problem actually in most of the companies. And that's why in most of the job descriptions, you will see that they're looking for proactive people, able to take the responsibilities, and they will be describing their pain. So that's why it's very important to read the job description and copy some points, not the copy, maybe rephrase a little bit so they are not just copy paste, but rephrase them just to comply with who are they looking for. And imagine out of like 100 people who will apply for this position, you will be maybe 1 or 2 people who did this. So you will be already one of the best candidates for them, even before the interview. So that's why the first rule says, let me move this Zoom thing here. So the first rule says a specific job requires specific resume. So it doesn't mean that you have to create a resume and just send it everywhere. No, if they require some specific skills or experience or some specific soft skills, please copy that from their job description and add to your resume. Sometimes, of course, if they're looking for Java knowledge and you don't have Java knowledge, that's you don't have to put that on your resume. You just say, hey, I know JavaScript, but if you want me to learn Java, I will, as quickly as possible and quicker than the other people. That also makes you the best candidate for them. And we'll talk about that separately in the resume section. But whatever makes sense for you and describes you as a personality, or you can be that kind of personality. Maybe you are not attentive to details right now, but you can be. So put that in your resume, copy that from the job description and say, hey, yes, I am very attentive to detail, because there is no way to measure that. That will be measured during the work when you will join the company, and then they will see if you are attentive to details or not. But there is no quick way to measure that, right? So you can easily put that. If they're saying looking for a proactive person who's not afraid to take the responsibility, put that on your resume as well. So your resume may change. It doesn't mean that you create the resume once and then just send it to every position. No, you open the position, you see what they're looking for, and then copy those statements to your resume, so you are the best candidate for them right away. Sometimes what happened to me, even regarding skills, I didn't know SQL when I was looking for my first job. So what I did, I saw that many positions require SQL, right? So what I did, I actually opened some video on YouTube, or found some book or something like that and was reading it maybe for a day, just learned a few scripts, and was saying then during the interviews, I was saying, hey, yes, I was using SQL on my previous jobs, and that was my first job, right? I was looking for my first job, so I actually had only training experience and I never had like real experience, but I was saying that I had a job, of course, and I was doing like SQL things, but what I was doing, I was just sending simple queries to the database to make sure that the users were saved correctly and the information was saved correctly, so nothing complex. And they were asking me, hey, okay, can you write some few simple queries? Of course I could, because I just watched the video before those interviews. And now I could put SQL on my resume because I knew some simple SQL queries. So sometimes if there is something that many companies require, it's not difficult to just watch a few videos, learn something, and just tell them, hey, of course, I know SQL, maybe not like a developer who creates a database, but I was sending simple queries to the database to make sure that the information was saved correctly. So sometimes some skills you can get them just by watching a few videos. And that's why even if some jobs require some specific skills, don't think that you cannot apply for that. You still can apply, and I suggest you to apply for any position, even if you see that the coding language is different, even if you see that the skills are different, still apply. Because sometimes what happens, there is a new project and they don't know actually what they will be using. So they see whom they need to hire, and they're looking for people, and they have decided to use Java, but then they see that many people are in JavaScript, so they have decided to switch to JavaScript. And then you see Java in the job description and you don't apply. But actually what happened, they are accepting any candidates who will apply for this position. They will interview you, and if they like you, either they will tell you, okay, Java is not a problem, we will teach you, or we have decided to switch to JavaScript. So actually that's good that you applied. So apply everywhere. If you will be rejected, your resume will be rejected, not a problem. It's just one click for you, fill the form, and then if they reject you, that's fine. You will not lose money, you will not lose anything, but you still apply and you still take the chance, because there is a little chance that they will still accept you, interview you, and even hire you. I've saw that many times. So still apply for any position that is, even if there are some differences in skills and languages and so on. So still apply. Okay. So this is about general. Then let's go to the resume itself. So the name. Sometimes the people have complex foreign name, unfortunately, right? But it's not like somebody is like don't like people from abroad. No, it's about how easy for people to remind your name. Because what happens sometimes, you interview many people and you like them, and it's easier for you to remind some people with easier names. Because when you talk to your colleagues, for example, you interviewed this person, maybe your colleague the development team interviewed this person, and then what happens? You have to discuss this person. So, and if you're discussing and trying to discuss who was the best candidate for you, it's easier for you to remind, for example, Bobby. Hey, that guy, Bobby, he was nice. And then there was another guy, but I don't remember the name. Oh man. And you can remind the name, and that happens, they just forget you. Sometimes they just forget you. So my suggestion, if you have complex name, it's not necessary for you to put your legal name to resume. Resume is your preferred name. So if you have complex name or complex last name, simplify it. Simplify it. Just say, some people like, I don't know, especially from India, like they may have some super long name, but they usually simplify. For example, one of the people I work with, his name was Satinderjit, pretty long name. So what he was using, he was actually using the name Sony Singh, and everybody knew him as Sony, right? And even in the system, he was registered as Sony, because most of the companies, they allow you to use your preferred name everywhere you want, except legal documents. So in legal documents, they will use your legal name. But in other systems that you use for bug reporting, for bug tracking systems, for code management systems, and everywhere else, like in the chat and Slack, you can use your preferred name, and that will be absolutely fine. So you can still use your short name that people will be using to call you. So same applies for the resume. It's not like super big advantage, but again, it's a small plus that makes you one of the best candidates for them, because it will be easy to remind. And if there are like 3 candidates who did the best during the interview and you one of them, you better have a simple name. So it's easy to remind and discuss with colleagues, and then say, okay, let's then bring that person. That's Sony, right? And imagine if nobody could remind his name, and they would probably be discussing more Bob or John or somebody else, because they have simpler name. It's easy to remind. It's not about somebody doesn't like people from abroad. Again, that just happens naturally. People just can forget the name, and it's easier for them to remind something simpler. So if you have really complex name, just simplify it. It's really important. It will give you a big plus when they will be discussing the results of the interview. Contact info. Sometimes people are putting the address, people putting a lot of other things. They are also putting that they are green card holders and or US citizens, or they have work permit. No, don't do that, because it's not required. For some jobs, if you look for some jobs, and some of them are for government, for example, and there can be some classified information. Of course, they say then we accept only green card holders and US citizens. Then yes, and you don't have to say that. You will be, when you will be filling the form and they will ask you specifically about that when they will be interviewing you. So no need to put that into your resume, because sometimes it's working against you. One case, when you put that you are a work permit holder, and there are some problems sometimes with people with the work permit. Sometimes some visas get canceled, and what happened like a few years with H2 or H4 visas, they lost their work permits. So, and recruiters, they started afraiding the people with work permits, and other people with work permits, they got declined just based on that, but they still had the work permit. But since many companies were afraid that they will lose their work permits, it's better to find somebody who is green card holder or US citizen. They were just rejecting people based on that. Yes, that's illegal, but you have to prove that first, that you were rejected based on that. And there is no way to prove, but that was happening. So it's better not to put that information. If they even ask you, hey, do you have a green card? And you can say, yes, I have a green card, and I will give it to you after I get an offer. Because when you get an offer, you can give them any kind of document that you have. And it works vice versa. Sometimes people just don't like, because they don't have work permit, and some recruiters, they don't like people who has green card or US citizenship, right? And they may reject it based on that. So it's kind of like tricky, and you cannot prove that even you got rejected, and you never know, right? You just applied for the position and you didn't get a response. So it's better not to put that information. You just put the information they need to call you or contact you. So it's phone number, and it's email. That's it. You don't have to put anything else. If you apply on LinkedIn, they will have your LinkedIn profile. So you don't have to do that as well. Sometimes you put the city or location if that is required, but since it's not required now and most of the jobs are remote, it doesn't matter as well. So this is how resume looks like. You just put your name first, and then just your phone number and email. So for the email, there's also one cool rule. If you can find some cool looking name, because I saw in my career that one person was hired just based on the email, because email was something like QAGod or QAGuru or something like that at gmail.com. And that person was hired just based on that. Because what happened? You, as a manager, you review hundreds of resumes, and they like regular, they look the same. So you are bored, and then you see the resume looking nice with all the rules complied. And then you see QAGod, and look, you think right away, hey, interesting that this person found this cool name and was playing with Google trying to find that name, because it's really hard when you try to register a new account at Gmail. They say, hey, everything is already that email already exists, and you try to find another. So it's really hard work to find cool looking email, but that person did that. And what you think right now, I would like to talk to that person, because that's probably a very interesting person to talk to. So you get to the next level, which is interview. And actually the only goal that resume has is just to bring you to the next level, to interview. That's it. Resume doesn't have anything else to do. So your resume is not your curriculum vitae. People sometimes say CV, they say resume, it's not the same. It's absolutely not the same. You can read on Google what is curriculum vitae and what is resume, and the difference between them. Resume is your advertisement, is your, like you open a new restaurant, right? And then you print a lot of flyers, advertisements, and so on. You will never say, regular restaurant just opened here, or one of the middle level restaurants. No, you say best restaurant in the city. Come and try our delicious food. Our chef will bring you like to the heaven or something like that, right? So you will describe your restaurant in the best words. You will praise it. Same here. You have to praise yourself. Do not hesitate to do that. Praise yourself. You are the best candidate for them. Extreme attention to details. You're able to ensure quality by improving all the processes related to software development. Actively learning test automation tools and others. Excellent management skills, strong work ethic, and ability to take on multiple roles. So you praise yourself. You praise because you have to be the best candidate for them. This is probably the most important rule in the resume. Of course, beside that, you have to do this and you have to do that and comply with specific rules. But probably the most important in the resume that you have to praise yourself. You have to be like super cool professional according to your resume, and they will bring you to the interview. And this is the only goal that resume has. So to bring you to the interview, because during the interview, there will be different skills and there will be different approach how to successfully do that. But the only goal that resume has is to bring you to the interview. So you have to praise yourself, and just based on your resume, people just want to talk to you. So you should be cool looking person, everything super clear, and some nice email, super clear. Maybe that's why that you didn't put your location, you didn't put your green card or citizenship status, and that's why they want to talk to you. Oh, what kind of person is that? Because summary, skills, experience, everything looks good. I want to talk to that person. But email is super nice. Nobody had that. And I was reading like hundreds resume, and only one of them is super cool looking. So I want to talk to this person. And even at this point, when you just see the resume, this person is already special for you. So when you interview this person, you already able to hire this person because this person is already special for you. And if this person will be just answering the questions and will be just proving what is described in the resume, that's it. This person will be hired. But the decision was made during that resume review, long time ago, not during the interview. Interview just to confirm that this person is special and good enough to be hired. But that decision will be made even during the resume review phase because it was different. It was special. It was not like the others. That's why every point is important. So when you create your resume, I will share this document with you. So when you create your resume, you read every rule and make sure that your resume complies with that rule. And that will make your resume the best. Okay, objective. Sometimes people put here the most common mistake here. People put something like, actually, I had that in my career as well. One of my people who were applying, nice people I used to work with, and they lost the job. So they had to look for other positions, other jobs. And they sent their resume to me, and they were nice QA engineers. They were promoted to QA lead. That person was promoted to QA lead. And he was putting something like, any position in any company that I can fit my role in, something like that. No, you are QA lead, and you don't have to put something vague or something like that in your resume, something that contradicts with your skills. No, you are QA lead according to your summary, your skills, and your experience. You are lead. You are leading people. You are leading a team of like 5 people. So you are QA lead, and in your objective, you put software QA lead or something like that, software QA lead engineer, something like that. Clear? No ambiguous descriptions or something like that. No talking about like, I want to be somebody in the company or something. No, just your role that you're looking for. If you're a software QA engineer and you're looking for software QA engineer, you put that. If you're looking for automation position, you put quality assurance automation engineer or software development engineering test. So you put what you're looking for. That's your objective. Clear, one line, and just the position name. That's it. And that's actually the rule here applies as well. if they call this position manual key engineer, for this particular position, just change it, manual key engineer. Then what you do, you just download it as PDF. So you can change it. You can keep it as Google Doc. Then you can change it to a PDF doc, download it as PDF document, and then attach it to your job application, right? So every time, just keep it as a text document. But whenever you need to send it to somebody, just right away download it as a PDF, and then when you apply, attach it. Just attach it to that job application, and that's it. This is what you do. So you have to update your resume constantly, and based on the job description and based on the new skills that you have learned. So I'm telling my students all the times, we just learned new topic, you learned API, put API on your resume now. Put all the technologies that we use, Postman, or this is in automation called Axios, put Axios in there. We have built automation email reporter, put that in your resume. We just learned continuous integration pipelines, Azure pipelines, put that in your resume as well. So you have to update your resume all the times because you evolve as an engineer, as a person, so you have to put more and more skills. How about foreign languages? Shall we add that? No, you don't have to. There are some positions where some translations are required, or multi-language products, then yes. But usually it's mentioned in the job description. So good to, and usually good to have. Usually there is a good to have, not always, but usually there is a like good to have skills. And there is just say that we would like you to know Polish or something like that, because maybe a lot of there is a remote team located in Poland, and you have Polish, for example, so you can communicate with those people, right, easily. So that's why usually they mention, or there are some projects that have many translations, usually in Spanish. In the United States, usually there are two languages all the time. It's Spanish and English. So Spanish would be nice, but other than that, you don't have to put your language knowledge. So on LinkedIn, actually, there is a way to put it on LinkedIn. So yeah, you can mention that on LinkedIn. Just fill whatever you have on LinkedIn. But in resume, no, it's not required. If it's not asked. If they are asking for some different languages, yeah, then just, again, you can update your resume every time for every position. So if they require some languages, then yes, put them. So summary of qualification. So actually, summary of qualification, it's about you. It's about you. First of all, use bulleted list here, and for technical skills as for experience, because sometimes people put summary as a paragraph when you have just sentences. It's really hard to read. Just imagine a person reading hundreds resume when everything is in a sentences, just sentences in a paragraph, and it's really hard for comparingly, right? Of course, it's not too hard, but it's comparing to bulleted list. It's very hard to find when one sentence starts and ends, and especially if you're looking for specific skills. So, and you like, oh man, come on, and you start hating this person. Like, come on, why are you doing this to me? I'm like reading today hundreds resume, and you're putting summary in a paragraph. Come on. And you don't want to interview this person right away, right? And this is what happens. So you make life of other people easier. And actually, as a tester, you always do that. You try to save time. And if you were attending the manual lessons, I was explaining how you save time for the development team, for the testing team, and for everybody else. Same here. You just try to save time, because if people will like your resume, and resume will be easy to understand, easy to read, they will call you to the interview. Because based on the others, the other resume will be looking not so good, and they will call you because your resume is clear, easy to read, and nice looking resume. So why not call you to the interview? So bulleted list first, and it's about you. So the problem here, people are putting something, I was working on test cases, I was reporting bugs. No, you were reporting bugs on some project. So you put that in the job description, in your previous or the current experience. You put that there. But in here, in summary, it's all about you, that stays like, makes you outstanding, not like others, like expert, right? Not everybody is expert. So you are expert. Not everybody is motivated. So you're very motivated. And here you just put the regular job responsibilities. Everybody communicates with business analysts. Everybody performs test case development or test case creation, right? What we did. Everybody creates high quality bug reports, not high quality, but everybody creates bug reports, right? So here you mention everything that makes you better. Usually it starts with how many years of experience do you have? And usually we don't put anything below than 3 years because you will get rejected right away. Everybody wants people with experience, right? That's the problem. And we know that problem. And what we do, we usually put our projects, but we lie. We say that we work there for 3 years, for example. In this case, this person works on our test project since 2019, but it really was like maybe 4 months, right? But we put that experience. What we also try to do, so if people, we try to rewrite the previous experience. For example, while we have people were working at pharmacy, and they were doing some regular stuff. They were controlling the user flow. They were working in some specific software. And what we try to do, hey, do you work with requirements as testers? Yeah, actually, when we have new software installed, there are some like requirements how to use the system. And you say, okay, so you actually work with the requirements. And then have you created like a checklist to make sure that everything is working? Actually, yes, we had a checklist to make sure that the system functional when we were installing the software. So you actually created test cases. You had like checklist. You can say checklist even like that. And what was happening when you was fighting some problem, and we were reporting to our support team, like development team. Yes, like development team. So yeah, let's put that. So we actually were writing real experience person working with the software on the job, but not working as a tester. That person was like registered, working with the register, something like that on the computer, but actually doing a lot of testing job, the same skills that testers have. So what we try to do, we add another experience in the resume and rewrite previous job in software testing words. So we use software testing words, tech words, just to describe the previous experience. So I was working with documentation, then with using checklist was checking the system is stable and working fine. In case of problems, we're reporting problems to our support team or the we call them development team. So it looks nicer, right? Development team. And then checked the resolution in case if something was fixed and blah, blah, blah. So we were, and some people were installing cell antennas, right? And we were saying, okay, so when you have a new antenna, new device, right? For example, 5G right now, do you have some specific documentation for that? Yes. So you have to read it. Yeah, you have to learn how it works. Yeah, I have to learn how it works. So you actually do the same as testers do. They also work with documentation. And what happens if you don't know answers, you don't understand something in the documentation? I was calling some support team. Okay, so you were working like with business analysts in, yes, right? Yes, I was working with like business analyst in. Okay, so let's put that in your resume as a previous experience. And then did you have like a checklist to make sure that that antenna works when you install it? Yeah, actually I have a checklist to make sure that it works when we have installed that. So actually you do the testing. And what happens if something is not working? Actually, we try to fix it. If not, we call we just call specific team that troubleshoots the problem. But we try to fix that on our own. Oh, that's nice. So you even tried to fix that on your own because you knew the system pretty well, right? Okay, yeah. And in case if something was really weird, you were calling the other support team and doing that. Yeah. So let's put that on your resume. So actually, we were rewriting the previous antennas installation experience like a testing experience, and we were just saying that the person was working as a software tester, for example, in the previous company. And that was different company. That company was installing cell antennas, but we were rewriting that in testing words. And this is how it usually works. So you just say, okay, I started as antennas installer, but actually I was doing a lot of testing and I realized that I like testing. So that's why right now I work at this small company that does software testing, but I like to do something more and more. So that's why I'm looking for a new opportunity right now. This is what usually happens. So actually you mentioned either one experience in your resume or two experiences when you write your previous or current experience with software testing words. So, okay, but the summary of qualification, you just describe what makes you special, what makes you better than other candidates. And usually here, you put all those words like attention to details, strategic, holistic thinker, and so on. So proactive problem solver. So all those things you put on the summary of qualification, but this is what makes you special. And some and technical skills like this, you put in your skills. So, okay, so let's go to the next one, technical skills. So technical skills, actually, it's again, bulleted list. It's a bulleted list, and you break down your skills to some specific logical sections. Right here, we just did languages for the person, right? That languages that the person was working with, which is JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Actually, it was learned during the course. But the story here, the agenda, that this person was just overviewing the application code. Since this person knows JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and this was the web application, so this person was inspecting, like we did, right? Was inspecting the code and looking for the problems in the code as well. So we put this issue tracking, Azure DevOps. This is the bug tracking and project management system that we use on our projects. And we can use this, we can use other bug tracking systems here, see if you have some experience working with. And then we put something like Chrome development tools, because this is the tool that you use for inspecting in browser Chrome. If you use Firefox, you can say Firefox development tools and so on. And Git, this is the code management system that we use during the coding course as well. This is the resume of the person who graduated the manual course plus JavaScript in parallel without automation, just without automation. So, and then what we have here, you break down, and here the most important rule here will be everything you mentioned here should be described somewhere here. And this is really important because what happens when I read the resume and looking for people with specific skills, I first of all look at this. And I say, okay, I'm looking for a JavaScript person. So where the person used the JavaScript? And then I'll look. And then I see Java, I see Python, Java, and JavaScript like 9 years ago. I'm like, okay, so probably this is not my best candidate because it was 9 years ago, right? So I will be looking for that in experience. If I don't see that in experience, I reject it right away because seems like that person doesn't have any experience with JavaScript and maybe just learned at university or watched a few videos and put this in here. So if you really know JavaScript and put it here, you have to describe how you use that, because this is really important for those people to understand not only that you know JavaScript, but how you used it. In this case, person was saying that that person was overseeing the application code in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS using Chrome developer tools to find available coding bugs and suggest possible fixes. It's very good for manual testers. So not only person that tests manually by just clicking buttons, but also inspects the code and finds some other problems. So it's really important for manual person to know this. And if I am as a manager thinking that it would be nice for that person to know JavaScript, because we use React as a front-end tool, and they will be testing React applications. So it would be nice for them to know JavaScript because it will be easier for them to find problems. So, and that's why I will be looking here, and then we'll be looking how they use that. And for this person in particular, it will work well because I will probably bring this person to the interview. Okay, so work experience. Here you just list your experience. If you don't have any experience, so usually we never have one job here. It happens rarely when the previous experience that person has is not related to QA at all. It's like, I don't know, maybe this person is was working like, I don't know, in building houses or something like that, or I don't know, helping or picking apples. I don't know, absolutely not related to IT. But if you used to work with a computer, usually there is a software that you use and you test it, you find problems, you report those problems to somebody. So there are skills from the testing world that you use daily, even on your regular job. So if that job is related to computers or at least mobile applications, if you use it with the phone and doing that on the phone, so usually you doing something that testers do as well. So we can rewrite your previous or current experience in that software testing job. So what we do, we usually, in that case, we rewrite your previous experience that like you had it like a year ago and before, and then we write the current project experience. It's like you work on the project for a year. Like you started a year ago, and right now it's been a year since you joined the project, our project. And usually here we describe our project that we do during the course. And the second experience, what you do is your current experience, current job you work on, the previous job you work on, that related to QA. And we try to rewrite that in QA words, that you were working with documentation, doing some test planning, maybe you had some checklist or test cases. Maybe those were not test cases, but we just say that in the resume that those were test cases, that you called them test cases, right? And you were reporting bugs to somebody. So actually, when you're answering questions about your previous experience, you describe your real job. So I was working with documentation. I was working, maybe you were testing hardware, not software, but hardware, like that guy with antennas, but that's not software, that's hardware. So I have a guy who installs alarm systems. So the job very, very similar to QA. They also install, they test, they run many tests. So actually they have checklists and blah, blah, blah. So actually they're doing testing job, but just working with hardware and not software. So it's so for somebody it's very easy to rewrite in the testing experience. And this is how we build like 3 and sometimes even more years of experience. So we mentioned the previous job, and sometimes if people used to work there for 5 years, we say, okay, just put 5 years of experience, put 4 years from the previous job and 1 year from the current testing project that we use. Because what we do during the course, we put people on the project right away. So people don't learn theory, they just brought on the project, they start learning that on the real project. So it's easier to so you get better understanding how the company works, how the project works, because you learn everything on the project. And if you work in the project, for you is something like maybe your relative brought you to the company and said, okay, sit here, we will teach you how to do that. Same here, we just brought you in the project and said, okay, sit here and we'll teach you how to do everything. And you learn that, you get experience, not from the books, but you have to remind, oh, the types of testing, it's regression testing, it's smoke testing, it's functional testing. No, you know what that exactly means because you do that manually. So that's why we usually put our project like for a year experience and the previous project like for how many people have. Maybe sometimes people work there for a year, so we put 1 additional year. Sometimes people work on the previous job for 5 years, so we put like 5 years of experience and then year of our project, and it looks like 6 years of experience. And it's possible because not every company is super developed and using the best technologies. Sometimes you're working at the company with old technologies, with no improvements, and it looks like your previous job, like you do some simple stuff, just some simple test cases, just test and get the salary, and you just left looking for something better in you, right? And then you work on our project right now, and now you're looking for something even better. That's your usually your story about your career. But that's how you get after the courses few years of experience all the times. So you're a better candidate for everybody. And again, important thing for the job description here, usually you put everything in the past simple. You analyze functional requirement, communicated with, and performed a test case development, even if for the current project, because you are not doing this correctly. You used to do this the past year. So everything was in the past. You are not doing this right now. You actually did that the whole year that you worked at this company, or several years. So usually you say analyzed, communicated, performed, created. And another important rule, again, everything that is here should be described here. or you have second experience, it should be described in second experience as well, because that's really important. Because again, if I'm will be looking for specific skills and you have like 3 jobs described here, I will not look through them because it's a lot of reading for me. First of all, I will look if you have specific skills I'm looking for. And then if the answer is yes, then I will go and try to find them, how you actually used them. So you cannot just put something you watched video about here and then don't mention it in experience because you never used that. No, you cannot do that. If you mention something here, you put it here. Even if you think that you know something, you watched video about something, you played on your computer, and you know some technology, like was SQL for me. So then you put SQL here, but you also mention it here, saying that you were not doing SQL here, but you put it here, saying that I was doing some simple SQL queries to the database, because that's important for the people. And that's fine because you can do that. It's bad when you lie and you cannot do that. When you say I'm like super developed like in Java and you don't know Java, that's a problem. But if you actually were doing SQL and even playing on your computer, so you can send simple queries, then you can put this information. Nobody cares, right? Even if you were not doing SQL on that project, but you were, but you know how to do that and you put that into your resume, that's fine. The only problem will be that you will have to prove that, right? And if they ask you, hey, write simple SQL queries, you will have to do that. And that's it. But you can put that in here if you really know that technology. So you can put it here and here in that case. And that's it. Then you mentioned courses. Usually what we do with people, especially with those who continue with the automation course, we say mention that you graduated manual testing when you have your first job. When you have your first job in 2017, you put here 2017. It should match with your first testing job, right? And then just say that currently you are learning test automation. So current year, and that you learn test automation right now. It will be beneficial for you because you mentioned that you're learning test automation skills and technologies here, and also that you're doing some things over here related to automation. So actually it will be beneficial for you because usually companies, they tend to implement automation later. So even if they bring manual people, they want to do automation as well, and it will be beneficial for you if you mention automation here as well. So that's what we usually suggest people. If you don't take automation course, then you just mention manual testing, of course. If you take the automation course, we just suggest people to put automation that they learn it right now. Even if people go to automation course, we still want them, and it's a homework for them as well. And it's required, it's mandatory. They have to apply for manual positions because they need to, even if they get a job, they always can say, I declined your offer, right? But you have to apply for positions as a part of the homework and go to the interviews just to train yourself. So when you learn automation, it's not first time for you when you go to the interview. You already know what to do and you just go and get your job quickly. Sometimes people get a job even during the course. Even before graduating the course, they get a job already. So that's why it's really important, even during manual course, doing a job application. Sometimes you get manual position and you go and work as a manual tester and continue learning automation. And then you'll just learn automation. You either start doing automation at your company or start looking for another position, but you already work, and maybe it will take 3 months for you. So you will work during the education and then plus 3 months when you will be working a job. So, but all this time you will be already in the industry, but looking for a new job. So anyways, it's beneficial to start looking for a manual position during the course and not wait till the end, because what people usually say, I will wait till the end. I will wait and I will start looking after I finish the course. But what happens? It takes a lot of time for them. So what was happening, we have some discounts for our students that already took the course. So they have a big discount for the course. They can take course again. So it's like $100 per month, like 99 bucks. Yeah. So they, some people, they just take the course and, oh, I will look job later. I will look job later. But then at the end, they realize that they still need to keep themselves active, doing something. So they say, I will take course again. So they take course again and just in order to do something during the job search, right? Not to forget everything. So that's what happens. So that's why I suggest you to save money, to save time. When we say you have to start applying for the positions, you start applying for the position. When we say you have to prepare your resume to the next lesson, you prepare the resume to the next lesson. It's very simple. Just listen, let us do our job, and you will get your job pretty quickly. Did you have students like that who was hired as manual while they were doing automation course? Yeah, of course. Sometimes people, they start applying to a manual course and get feedbacks later. So they start learning automation and get feedbacks later. So they still go to the interview, they take a job as a manual testers. And I even had a person, she used to work, she found a job as a manual tester. She knew automation and tried to switch to automation at that company a few times, but she like didn't have a time, and she was she actually liked manual. She liked manual more than automation, but automation is high paid, right? You usually paid higher than manual tester. So as she still were trying to do to automation, but yeah, she like worked for a year maybe, and then finally got the automation job at the different company, and the salary was like 120K per year. But finally, yes, but that happens. Yeah, but I'm suggesting people to take a job. Sometimes people say, I had two guys, actually. One guy was looking for a job maybe for 8 months and saying that he was actually the best student on the course, the best. He knew everything. And I was like talking to him, calling and saying, hey, what's going on? You like people calling me. I was giving references, people calling me, but you still didn't get a job. So what happened? And he was saying that I'm looking for a key lead position. And he found actually like in 8 or 10 months, but he found that position, but it was like crazy. He actually finished the course, was not looking for anything else except QA lead and blah, blah, blah. He finally found that, but again, it took so much time, like 8 months, it was crazy. So I wouldn't suggest doing that. I would suggest, hey, take any job and just continue looking. It's not a problem for you at all. Just keep looking for your perfect position. This is what usually happens. You get a job, you start working, getting a salary, working from home, because usually people who come to us, they don't work from home. Some people working as helpers, builders, tile installers, home builders, whatever, like different jobs. So and you have to continue working on your old job when you're looking for some perfect position. No, just take any job, start working remotely from your home, make some tea, I don't know, drink some tea. Oh, it's not visible here. Make some tea, like sit, turn some video on one screen, work on this screen. It's so nice working remotely and being able just to wake up and go to your room or your office and sit, right? Without need to go and be in a traffic, waste an hour there, an hour back, and then waste money going to some cafe for the lunch or something like that. You like save a lot of money just being working from home, on the commute, on the food, right, and so on and so on. So it's actually very nice. So just take that job first and then continue looking for your perfect job later. So that's why I usually suggest people, but that happens. Yeah, and another person, he actually had the bad English because he came from Ukraine maybe like 2 weeks prior when the course started. So he just came from Ukraine 2 weeks and then the course started. So actually he was really bad at English. So it took for him maybe like 8 or 10 months as well to find a job, but he was looking for automation as well. Automation was the first job, and it was actually the same company, that girl that came from automation from manual to automation found the job at the same company at the same time. So they both, one guy from manual to automation and one guy directly from the course to automation, and the salary was 120K. So now they work at the same team. So actually different stories, it take different time for different people, depends on the on your situation, on your language skills, on how you can easily sell yourself. And it's all about motivation. We will talk about that in the second part of this lesson, about the interview, how to be the best candidate during the interview. That's really important because interview is something that will make you special for them. Because if resume, they will maybe accept like 10 resumes, 20 resumes to be interviewed. then during the interview, you have to prove that you're the best. You're the one that they need to hire, because sometimes there is a one position open. Sometimes there are like two positions and they will hire like 2 out of 20 people, but you have to prove that you're the best during the interview. So resume is simpler. It just needs to bring you to the interview. And then during the interview, you have to prove that you're the best for them. And so it depends on different statuses. But I can tell you that I had one student, she graduated maybe like 6 months or maybe even 8 months ago already. And I was thinking that she will never find a job. And that group, everybody found a job except her. And I was thinking that she will never find a job. She was working super hard, but she was bad in English and she was very nerving during the interview. So she had a problem in here. She was really afraid of the interview. She was thinking that she cannot do something, but she was really working really hard during the course, and she was doing everything, completing all the homeworks, doing everything. I had to sometimes repeat like 3, 4, 5 times for her to be able to understand. And then other students were saying, hey, how can you do that? I would probably scream at this time, but you were so relaxed and so silent, explaining that again and again and again. And that worked. So she learned everything, but she was looking for the job, it was hard for her. But she finally found the job remotely in Los Angeles, and it's like over 100K salary as well. So everything is possible. When I was working for my first job, that was the point for me as well. If somebody found the job after the same courses, I will find definitely, because they are not better than me. So if at least one person from your course found a job, that's it. You will find it. You have to find it, because you are not worse than that person. That person learned the same things that you learned. So if somebody after the same course found the job, then you have to do that. Just have to do that. And that's it. That's it. Sometimes it's hard. When I came to the United States, it took for me maybe like 3 months to find a job. Yeah, something like that. And I already had an experience from Ukraine. It's not like I came completely zero and looking for the first job. And my first job was key lead actually here at Apple. So actually, but it took for me 3 months, and nobody was replying. Sometimes like maybe the first 1.5, maybe the first 2 months, nobody was replying. Recruiters were not calling me. So it was pretty crazy. I was like thinking, hey, what's going on? Is something wrong? But sometimes it takes time, but don't give up, and you will find your job easily. So it's all about that. And we usually stay at the chats. We have all the chats with the students. They stay in Slack. So just before the lesson, I actually was answering questions. So one of the students looking for the job right now and send like 8 points questions, like what if they ask this, what if they ask this, and usually I reply or other teachers reply. So we usually help students even after the courses, so they finally get the job. And this is the best for us, because usually what happens, we open new courses, and the first teachers that look for our students that graduated the course from a few years ago. So the first we try to bring as teachers the students who graduated the course like a few years ago, because some people become leads in a year, in 2 years, become leads, managers, and so on. So we try to bring those people first. So we like building a community. So we are interested in people finding jobs, because we will be building a community for them. And we have some plans regarding startups, building some startups, and we also want our students to be like growing and getting jobs, so they can grow, and we can use them as maybe our startup power. So we can work together on some startups, and maybe someday we'll build something that will change the world, and those people will become billionaires. So that's why it's also being our student is a very great job. Okay, guys. So quickly, if you have any questions during the resume, and we will move to the quick break, and then we will continue with the interview. So questions about the resume. Chat. Okay. I don't see any questions in the chat. No question. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and just ask me questions with the voice. Okay, no questions. So then let's have a quick break. Let's have like 8 minutes. Let's start at 8:15. 8:15. in California. So it's 7 minutes actually left already. So in 7 minutes, see you in 7 minutes. Let's make some tea or coffee or just bring the water, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, and also I want to pause the recording as well. Pause. Yay. Okay, so for the resume creation rules, I will save this document for you. I will just share with you and send you a link in the free October chat. Same with the template, resume template over here. And then I would like to go through the resume interview tips with you guys and explain you how to successfully pass the interview, because a lot of people just don't understand, unfortunately. A lot of people I interviewed, they just don't understand actually what is the interview process in real. So let me just share this show slideshow over here. So what do we have here? Okay, so first of all, even before showing you this, I want you to understand one important rule. The interview is not about you looking for a job and getting the high salary. It's not about that. Of course, we all want to get this job we like, and we would like to get a higher salary. But again, you need to understand. So first of all, the company opens the position because they need something. Either they have some problems they need to fix, or they need to cover, or they just don't have enough people and they are looking for some new engineers to join their team, right? But they have some problems that you have to fill, that you have to help them with, first of all. And only then, if you help them with this problem, they will pay you for that. So this is the most important thing that you need to understand. So the interview process, it's not about them interviewing you, it's also about you interviewing them. Because during the interview, you have to understand their problems and suggest yourself as a solution. So every question they ask is to understand that you are the solution for their problems. Are you the best fit for their company, for this specific position? And you need to understand why they are asking this question and how to answer it the best, to be the best candidate for them. This is how it works. So first of all, and there are some people that come and say, okay, you have to hire me because I'm a super professional, and that's why you need to hire me, because I want to have like the highest salary, and I will be doing everything for you, like, and so on and so on. Yes, but I never hired that person. If that person thinks that that person better than the company, that's it. You will never be hired. I would rather hire somebody with middle level, or somebody after the courses, super motivated and ready to work no matter what. Because this person wants to get the first job, for example, or wants to change the job and get this job and really loves this job and will be proactive, motivated, and so on and so on. So this is the kind of person I will hire, first of all, and not who will answer the questions better or something else, or who will complete the technical assessment better. No, the best person that I will hire, the person who's better fit into this position. And that's not always the most technical person, not always. It's sometimes the person that the team likes more. So I will interview that person, my teammates will interview that person, maybe some development team representatives will interview that person. And if everybody says, I like that person the most, because it seems like it's not a nice person to work with, even if that person doesn't know something, we will teach it. That not a problem at all. We will do that, because the most important thing, we would like to work with that person, because this is the best fit for this position, for this culture, and we would like to work with that person. That's why it's really important to understand that this is the company looking for you and not you for the company. And so the first thing, you have to listen, not only just answering the questions and talking a lot. Be short. If they ask you, hey, what is that? And say, this is it. And that's it. You don't have to talk a lot, because you will just waste your time and probably you will bring more questions about something specific you don't expect to. So just listen and try to understand who are they looking for. First of all, you will understand something from the job description. They will list everything that is important for them. The skills, maybe some soft skills, like kind of person they're looking for that we just saw on the LinkedIn. So just, you will overview that for sure. You will overview the company website. And then during the interview, try to understand even more. And sometimes you will be able to even ask the kind of person they're looking for and what is their problem. Why are they looking for this person? And so you need to listen and try to understand they need, because they need something to improve their situation, improve their problem, fix the problem they have. Maybe they just need another pair of hands to test something, right? And it will be super easy for you to get this job. So just listen and try to understand. People buy emotional. As I mentioned, even sometimes during the resume review process, you just see that one of the resumes is the best, one of them, and you bring few people to the interview, but you already give the advantage to this person you like more during the resume review process. And even sometimes other people answer better than that person, but you already like feel that person like special, and that's why you will hire that. So you need to understand that people buy emotionally. Sometimes you don't answer some questions. Sometimes you don't answer any questions, but they still hire you. So what happened to one of my friends? She failed the interview. She was nerving, right? And she was stressful, and she was driving back home. And then she just called them and said, "Hey guys, sorry for that worst interview in my life. I was nerving a lot. I was in stress. I really want this job. I really liked you all guys, and I would really appreciate to work in your company." And you know what? They hired her. They hired her because nobody else called them after the interview. But she called. She failed completely. She failed the interview completely. But she called them, and there was empathy, and emotionally they bought that. So they actually hired her just after the failed interview. After that call, they hired her. So that's why you need to understand that people buy emotionally, and that's why you need, during the interview, you have to be relaxed. You have to be smiling, joking, and be in kind relationship with that person. So if that person is joking, joke as well. If that person is smiling, smile as well. If that person is talking about some personal stuff, like I like to do tennis or something, you can also say, "Oh, I like to do soccer or basketball," or something like that. So be open, not be afraid of the interview. If you I usually try, when I talk to people, when I interview people, I usually talk to them, hey guys, relax right away, relax. Imagine that we are friends, maybe at bar, I don't know, somewhere, and we just talk about QA. I don't know anything about QA, so I will be asking you some questions about QA, and you just answer me in simple words, like you will be talking to friends. And even after that, many people try to read something, right? Try to say like they are robots, like, "Oh, bug is a mismatch between," and like they are not relaxed. What I'm trying to say, people, all the times, even if I interview people, hey, just relax and talk to me as a friend. I want to really see you as a relaxed person, the same as I will see you probably in 3 months when I hire you. When I hire you, at the same point, you will relax and you will be coming to a job and do your regular stuff, and you will be fully relaxed because it will be your common thing to come to the job and do your job, right? So I want to see that person right now, relaxed, smiling, talking as to a friend. So this is how you need to look. I know that's hard. I know, especially first interviews, you're always stressing, but this is what you need to work on the most, because people buy emotionally. If you will be relaxed, if they will be joking, you will be joking. If they will be talking about personal stuff, you'll be talking about personal stuff. They will be empathy, and they will hire you just emotionally. Even if the other people will be strong, skilled, but they will be not the people I would like to work with. They will be just boring, tech, I don't know, tech guys, boring, not smiling, very serious. I don't want to work with such kind of people. So I will not hire them. But if there will be a person maybe less skilled, but very empathetic, will be joking, smiling, nice. So everybody will say, I want to work with this person. So understand this. People buy emotionally, even if you don't answer all the questions. Even if you don't know something, just be relaxed. Just tell them, hey, if I don't know this, I will learn it as soon as possible, as quickly as nobody can. I will do this. But you are relaxed, smile, talk to as a friend to those people, and they will hire you for sure. Because this is how it happens. And sometimes even during the resume review process, even before the interview. And just, if you're relaxed, even if you don't know something, talk from position of strength. It doesn't mean that you have to be boring, that boring tech guy that knows everything and wants the highest salary. No, be a relaxed person and just tell. If they ask you some questions that you don't have an answer for, just say, okay, I don't know the answer for this question. I remember, maybe sometimes you just don't remember something, right? You just say, I don't remember exactly. I learned this. I know that I used to work with this in the past, but I don't really remember right now. So I just need to probably go in Google and I will just answer this question very quickly for you. Sometimes you just don't know the technology or don't know the answer completely. So then you just say, hey, I don't know the answer for this question. Unfortunately, I never worked with this technology. And that happens all the times. Because when you go to some company, you always have something you never worked with. For example, I used to work at Apple. Apple uses all the internal technologies. I completely forgot Jira, for example. When I went to a next company, they are using Azure DevOps. And I had to learn Azure DevOps from scratch. But that was never a problem that I never worked with Azure DevOps. Because everybody knows when you change the companies, you always have something new to learn, and that's not a big problem. They have some skills they will hire you for, that emotional, empathetic thing, right? And some general skills. If they need somebody to come and build QA from scratch, they will be looking for a person who will be able to build everything from scratch, right? And even if you don't know some systems, some technologies, but the most interesting case here is to build QA from scratch, to be the first QA at the company. They will bring you just for that. Doesn't matter if you know the other things. When I joined the current company, they also using Amazon web services. I never used them. I used Azure DevOps in the past and Apple before, then Git in Jira before that. So I never used Amazon web services. Now I'm working in the company that's using that. I never worked with Ruby, but I have a backend on Ruby right now, and I have to write some scripts on Ruby right now to find users in the system, to some companies and so on. So I'm using that, and that's fine. Nobody will tell you, hey, you will reject you. If they like you, if you have one important thing they're looking for, they will hire you for that. Just be a nice person and say, hey, Ruby, you have Ruby? No problem. I will learn Ruby as quickly as possible, as quickly as nobody can. I will. No problem with that. The most important thing is to be nice, relaxed, smile, be nice, so they want to work with you. Be just regular nice person, and they will hire you just for that. And no matter what, even if you don't know other technologies. So from position of strength, you need to say, hey, I may not know something, but I will learn it as quick as nobody can. And that's it. If you have somebody else, maybe more technical person than me, maybe somebody has more years of experience than me, that's not a case at all, because I'm the most motivated person you will have. I'm the most proactive person, and I will take the responsibility for the most complex challenges, because I'm not afraid of that. And if I don't even know something, I will learn it as nobody else can. So that's why you need to hire me. So even being nice, you have to talk from position of strength, saying that you are very motivated, proactive, can take the responsibilities for the complex stuff. You are not afraid of work and so on. So just be nice person who knows that that person is the best, and that's it. If you will tell them that you're the best because you're super motivated, you may have even more arguments than me right now. Maybe you even have more arguments, but this is just an example. You not only have to try to I don't know, tell them that you are the best candidate. You also would like to describe how and why, because you are the most motivated, proactive, able to take the most complex stuff, and so on and so on and so on. So just prove them. What they use at Apple for bug reporting as well, the internal system, the radar, I believe it's called radar. And it's used for bug reporting, for like agile board tool as well, and for test cases, also radar, I believe. Yeah, so it's very strange thing. Of course, it's yeah, it's uniqueness of Apple. So it's actually good on one side because you have high security, you have your internal thing that nobody has an access to. So it's super secure. On the other hand, you have to have a separate team who just develops that. Yeah, comparing to Azure DevOps. If I have my startup and I'm using Azure DevOps, I don't have to take care about their stuff. I don't have to take care about bugs in the system because there is a team in Microsoft who's responsible for that. If I have my internal system, I have to fully have a separate team to build that system, right? And so on. So it's a complex, but it's something that they have to do because they are super secure and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and learn, I believe it's related to the number one. You have to try to understand during the interview what they're looking for, again, and just suggest yourself as a solution. If they will be asking you questions about, yeah, if, for example, they have a problem with, I don't know, with QA in general, right? They will be asking you some general QA questions. And sometimes you can just ask them, hey, and usually sometimes they give you a possibility to ask them right away, or sometimes they give you the possibility to ask them at the end of the interview, saying that, hey, we have still like 10 minutes, you can ask me any questions. And you ask them the first question about their problem, about their ideal candidate they're looking for, and they will answer you. And then you need to suggest yourself as a solution, as the best candidate for this position. So again, interview is not about you. It's not about, you know, if they have 100 applicants, it's not about giving a job to somebody. It's about solving a problem. If there is no good person for solving this problem, they will not hire anybody. They will reject everybody because there is no good person to hire. So it's not about you, and they will not select somebody for sure. They will select somebody who can do the job that they need to do. And you just need to be the best person who can do that. And that's it. And again, they buy emotionally. So they just need to like you. If they like you, they will close eyes on the other problems. Maybe you didn't answer some questions, but if they will like you the most compared to other candidates, because the others were boring, you know, too serious, not smiling, and blah, blah, blah. So they will hire you because emotionally you will be the best. You will be the person they would like to work with. Again, this is not about technical skills. Hiring people, it's hiring probably your future friend, because you will be working for several years with this person, will be having team buildings, will be going somewhere together. Maybe that person plays basketball and you're playing basketball, so that person will call you to their team, or you will call that person to your team, and you will start playing together. That person will become your friend. So it's not only about just bringing a robot or something like that. No, it's a bringing person that you will have to work with. So people will buy emotionally. So the most important thing, they just need to like you. And it's not something that you have like a plan for. You just come to the interview and see if that person is very serious. That's no way probably you will be just smiling and relaxed and joking, right? Because sometimes the interviewers are terrible. It happens. You may not expect everybody to be smiling and nice with you. Sometimes the interviewers are terrible, really terrible, and you will see that, of course, sure. But most of the cases, you come to the interview, people are smiling, they're super nice with you. And if you're being nice, smiling, joking with them, and just being a regular nice person they're talking to, like during the lunch, for example, right? And just talk to them like that. And they will buy that. They will buy you emotionally, and they will bring you to the company, even if you don't answer some questions. But you also have to answer those questions. If you completely waste your time and don't answer any questions, even if you're a super nice person, of course, that will not work as well. So you have to prepare for the interview, be ready to answer their questions, be a professional, of course. But I mean, like, if they have two candidates and one candidate is like super technical, like many years of experience, but super boring, and you don't really want to work with that person, and you, who maybe didn't answer a few questions, didn't know some technologies, maybe need to learn something, but super nice and really would like to work with this person, they will hire you. Because the most important thing, to be a nice person beside you, because the person will become your friend as well, not only a colleague. So that's why it's really important to emotionally sell them yourself. Okay, I will skip this because this is a regular stuff. Okay, so they will ask you a lot of questions, and they will try to just understand yourself. Again, all of these questions, again, I will show you quickly. So tell about yourself. They will, it's open question. You just tell them about yourself. Like, I have so many years of experience. I just started my career in that year, and I quickly grown. Right now I'm looking for automation position. I also have hobbies. I like to play soccer, blah, blah, blah. So some common stuff about yourself. How do you yourself in 3-5 years? It's a common question, actually, but what they need to understand here, it's how are you thinking about your career development, right? What are you thinking about that? So the best answer here is, I see myself as a key person on your project. I want to really come to this project, learn everything the best, and know everything the best in the project. So in 3-5 years, I see myself as a key person here. So everybody comes to me asking question, how something works, something behaves, what to do in this case, what to do in that case. I really want to be a key person in this project. This is the best answer. If you tell them, hey, I really want to work here for 2 years and then leave you, and I'm working temporarily as QA, but I really want to open my business or something, they will not hire you. They don't want not motivated person who is not interested in the company. So here you need to understand, this question is asked to understand what value will bring you to the company. And you have to say that you will be the key person, because this is the most important for the company, for you to be working on the project and be very useful. So those money they paid you, they work for the company as well. So they not just pay you for nothing, but they just pay you and you work really good on the project, and you're the key person on the project is the best answer. Not telling that, hey, I am going to take your position. So if that person who interviews you is a manager and you tell him, I want to be a manager, I want your position, it's also a bad answer, right? But the best answer is, I want to be a key person here. Doesn't matter whether I want to be a engineer, automation engineer, manager, lead, whatever. I don't know. Key person. I want to be key person. So it brings a big value for the company. That's my goal, and that's why what I need to see myself, because I think I will be really glad that I'm a key person. And also probably company will be happy because I will bring value for the company. And it works both for us, for the company, and for me. So that's why you need to hire me. And why should we hire you? That would be the question. And that's what would be the answer. Because, guys, I will be the first one who will learn everything as quickly as possible. And I am going to be the key person of the project. I'm very motivated. I'm not going to hide in the corner. I'm going to take the responsibility for the most complex stuff and blah, blah, blah. Nobody, even if you may hire like technical person with many years of experience right now, or you can hire me, and you will never get such motivated person as I am. Never. And I think this is the most important thing in the person that you're hiring, because you have super technical person with many years of experience, but if that person will be lazy, sitting in the corner, not taking the responsibilities, it doesn't matter how many years of experience that person has. So I will be working hard on this project, and I will be the best person that you can even hire. That's why you need to hire me. And you smile all this time, like me right now, smile, relax, talking to them, and they will hire you. That's it. This is how it works. It always works for me. I'm usually find the job from the first interview. It's very rare when I got rejected. I actually got rejected a few months ago, but they were calling me and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we rejected you. We still have openings in our company. Maybe you consider, but we found another person with like 15 years of experience we need to bring, and really blah 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 blah." So they were even calling me and saying, "I'm sorry that we got rejected you." So even they wanted to bring me, but something happened else. So actually, that's kind of interview you want to pass. So when you come and say, "Hey, I'm the best candidate for you," not because I have many years experience, not because I may be super technology guy. No, because I'm super motivated. I'm like super proactive. And if you ask in the chat, "Hey, who will take the responsibility for this task?" Everybody will be hiding. I will be the first who will tell, "Hey, I will take this." If you tell them this, they will hire you right away, because this is a very common problem. A lot of people are demotivated. They want just to come to work, do nothing, avoid job, and get a salary, to work less and get more. So this is how we do this, is the most people, and really hard to be motivated. But if you try to prove them that you are motivated, they will hire you for sure. And they will be asking about your project, what was your role, how big was the team, these questions, just to understand that pretty much what you were working with is the same that you will have right now. So it's at least similar, right? So there is no big change, because sometimes you worked with some old stuff, old tools in crazy environment and blah, blah, blah. So you don't actually fit into their company. But this is really easy to solve. You just read about their company, about job description, and you have the answer. Because the answers here, what should be as close to their project as possible. So they just make sure that what you are working on is pretty much they are working on right now. So it will be quick change and easy change for you if you join their company. Okay, so soft skills, your positive, negative side, and blah, blah, blah. Standard. You just need to be a good person, good looking person for them. What would be your telling about your negative side and what really affect us? You need to describe it as your positive side as well. And for example, you say, "I think my negative side is that I cannot stop. Sometimes I find myself in working overtime just because I want to finish something. And I really don't like that, because I spend less time with the family. I don't do something else. So I would like to fix this. I would like to less work, but really sometimes I cannot stop. I just, when I have a task, I have to finish it. And you know what? I see that, okay, my time is done. I'm done with the work today, but I still have this task of unfinished and I want to finish it. So you sound like you want to fix this, and this is the problem, but for the company, it's a plus. Everybody wants people to work more and do more job just for the same pay, right? So it looks like a plus for you, but you talk about that, like about the problem, something like that. So sometimes you tell about some negative side, and the positive here for you will be that you know about that. You know about that, and you would like to fix it. So that's also about. Sometimes you can really say about something that bothering you, or that's your negative side, but you are working on this and trying to fix, and it worked for you because you are aware of that and you're trying to fix that. You would like to improve yourself. So any answer here is good. You just need to, if you really have something negative, you just need to tell them that you know about that and you would like to fix it, and you're working hard on fixing it. Or you describe something like that's not actually negative side for the company, maybe negative side for you, but not negative side for the company. And that will be also appreciated, because for the company, it's good when people working non-stop and cannot stop when trying to finish something. So for the company, it's not a problem. It's a problem for you. So that's also another method to answer that question. And then the most important part, you come to the point, either they ask you at the end, at the beginning of the interview, hey, you may ask, do you have some questions before we start? And yes, then you start asking the questions, as many as possible, because asking them questions is better than asking you questions. So if they give you this opportunity at the beginning, just ask them as many questions as possible. If they give you time at the end, anyways, you ask the same questions. So the first and the most important question that you need to ask is, describe your ideal candidate for this position. It must have. And I don't know why, but even people, sometimes I know this person knows that this question needs to be asked, and they don't ask that question. Sometimes what I did, I worked with students, just gave them this presentation, said, okay, this is what you need to tell. This is what you need to ask people. And then we do just small copy interview in 30 minutes after the presentation. And what happens? They don't ask these questions. I don't know why people are forgetting, but again and again and again, repeating. This is the first and the only question. If you have the possibility to ask only one question, you need to ask this question, because this is the direct answer for the main question, the person they're looking for. So if you ask them about this question, and this question can be asked to anybody. If you talk to HR, there will be ideal candidate from their position, because they will be talking about more company fit, the culture fit, and so on. If you talk to technical person, they will answer about technical side of this ideal candidate, and so on. If you talk to some management or CEO sometimes in startups, they will ask about, again, about culture fit, about the mission alignment, and so on and so on. So this is the question that you always need to ask. If you have the possibility to answer one question, this is the question you need to ask. Could you please describe your ideal candidate for this position? And they will tell you exactly about the person they're looking for. And you, either by this time, you need to understand this is exactly what I answered. So all the questions they were asking you, you were answering, and you were giving them this. And usually that happens. If the resume interview went well and you were relaxed answering the questions, at this point, when you ask this question, they will exactly describe you. And if you tell them by this time that you will be motivated, proactive, able to take the responsibility for the task, they will tell you the same thing. Usually that happens all the time. Sometimes you didn't answer some questions in that way, so they add something additional here. They say, okay, what we're looking for is this person has to be this and this and this. And then you say, okay, so answer that question like this. So I comply with this ideal candidate, but also they mentioned this. They didn't answer me this question. I never answered at them. So then you need to tell them that you are the best candidate for this position. And so they keep telling, then they stop. And then you just like continue. Okay, so now I understand the person you're looking for. So I can tell you that I can definitely help you with that and that and that. So you need to remember what they are talking about. So when they describe this candidate, they will do like a bullet points, right? So proactive, you already told them that you are proactive, or motivated, you already told them that, and then they sell some technical skills, right? We would like this person to build automation from scratch, for example, to implement, to decide what to use as a test automation framework. And you say, okay, so seems like I understood, and seems like this is definitely something I can help you with. Because beside the fact that I'm motivated, proactive, can take the responsibility, which we already talked about, also I can build a test automation from scratch, and I can definitely help you with selecting the tool for the test automation. I have the experience with that on my previous project. I was deciding between two tools, the most popular tools for the test automation, and there are some things that you have to consider when selecting the test automation framework. So I can definitely help you with. So here, you just suggested yourself as a solution as the best candidate. So you actually repeated about what you already answered, like proactivity, like motivation, being able to take and handle complex tasks, and so on. And also, you heard something you never heard about before, like test automation from scratch, decide what tool to use, and so on. So you tell them right now, hey, I can do that. Seems like I can definitely help you with that. So seems like I'm the right person you're looking for. I like the company, guys, and seems like I'm the person you're looking for. Okay, thank you. So the next question, you can tell them, what do you expect from me? Here, I'm suggesting people not to tell if I join your company, but say when I join your company, like you joining it for sure. When I join your company, what do you expect from me in the first few months, for example? And they tell you, and that's it. You can just tell them, yeah, okay, this is definitely I can help you with. So you can reassure them that this is easier for you and this is definitely what you can help them with. Even if you don't know something, you can say, okay, this is sounds like doable, pretty doable. Think it will be easy. Even if you need to learn something and something that you never worked before, you can always assure them, hey, I can do this. And don't be afraid of saying that, because there is nothing that you cannot learn. There is always something you can learn and implement new and so on. If they are talking about something you never worked with, doesn't matter. Tell them, this is definitely I can help you with. Definitely. And don't say if I join your company, say when I join your company. They like that. They like, oh, everybody like that. And of course, you can try to ask them, if you don't understand still what is their pain and why they're looking for this candidate, ask them that. And additionally, if they even answer this question, what the exact pain, why they're looking for a new person, maybe somebody left and they're looking for a substitute, maybe they just need another pair of hands to test, maybe they need to implement something new. And what happened to me, nobody had the key experience in the company. So they brought me to build key team from scratch. And even with the existing key resources who were brought from help desk support. So doesn't matter what they tell you. You can tell them, hey, I will do this because you need this job. And no matter what you need to do there, you will do that. Because believe me, you can learn everything. Even there, if there's something new that you never worked with, no problem. Tell them, yes, I will learn it as quickly as possible. I will do that. Be not afraid. Be assure them that you will do that, and that's it. And if they give you more time, just keep asking them about more questions about the company, about the project, about the culture, about the mission of the company, anything. Just ask them as many questions as you can. So it shows them that you are interested. So they have to stop you. Not you tell them, hey, that's enough, and you leave. No, they have to stop you saying that, hey, sorry, but we don't have more time, but it was nice talking to you, and so on. But keep asking them questions. Hey, about company, mission, about why that interviewer likes this company, what is the best thing at this company, what is probably maybe improved at the company. Just keep that friendly conversation, like you're asking your friend, hey, what do you like about your company, what do you dislike about your company, what is the environment, what is the culture, how people work together, what is the relationship between different teams, and many more questions about the company. And what are the competitors of the company? And you keep asking questions until they stop you. When you ask these questions, it just shows that you are not just interested in the company because you just told them, hey, I am very motivated and I would like to be the key person. It shows them, it proves them, yes, this person asked so many questions as nobody asked. This person is the first who asked so many questions. So this is our the best candidate. Not only said that very interested in this position, but also proved that very interested in the position and in the company. And this is how it works. So all during the interview, you just try to prove that you are the best candidate. First of all, empathy, you smile, being nice, joking, talking to them as to your friends, and So and on the other side, you try to figure out what they need and suggest yourself as a solution. And that's it. Even if you don't have answers for some questions, even if you don't know some technologies, they still hire you if you will be empathetic. And on the other side, you will suggest yourself as a solution, and you will assure them that yes, I will help you. I will definitely help you with that. Even if I don't know something, anyways, I will help you with that. I will learn that. I will do that. I will be the key person on the project in a few years. If you tell them that, they will hire you for sure. And yeah, actually, this is really also important. No money, no food benefits question, because this is the biggest mistake. You are not interested in benefits. You are not interested in salary. You are interested in your career developments and at the same time in helping the company. So usually how that works, there is a company, they have some specific technologies you would like to learn. There are professionals you would like to learn from. And there is something that they need that you have. So you help them, you give them what you have, and they give you what they have, some skills, new skills that you will learn. So you always tell them, hey guys, what I'm looking for is those specific skills. I know that you work with React. I would like to work with React and learn it. I know that you have cool professionals. I would like to learn from them. So that's why I'm joining your company, because I'm very interested in the company, in the product that you're developing. But on the other side, I have something that you need. So I think it's a win-win combination. You win, I win. So that's why. And if you start asking about money, do you have a free food in the kitchen? Do you have some benefits and blah, blah, blah? It shows you that you are not so interested in the project. You're interested in something else maybe, right? So don't ask about that. You will, if you are professional, if you will work hard, you will get everything. I started at Apple at very low salary. It was like $30 per hour because there was mistake. So my recruiter sent that I applied for manual position, but actually they hired me for key lead position. And there was some problem there. I don't know. So they were paying me a few months as a manual tester, and like I was doing QA lead job. So I joined and was doing QA lead job, and then just came to my manager like in a few months and just said, hey, I think my salary is not high enough. And we just talked about that situation, and she said, oh, not a problem at all. And like in an hour, just HR person calling me and saying that, hey, would be 100K enough for you? And like, okay, not bad. And then I got 160K, and then I got more and more. So you will get the salary you need, that you deserve. But don't ask that during the interview, because you are not interested in salary. You are interested in your career, to be a professional and to give something to the company. Not only to take something from the company, but also give something from the company. You need to show them win-win combination, that you have something they looking for and they have exactly that you are looking for. So it's not about, because the problem is if you only give, but they don't have anything to give you, that's a problem, because they will feel that you will be not motivated, you will be not proactive, and that's a problem. So if you explain them that there is a win-win combination, so this is, they have that you're looking for and you have that they are looking for, it's a win-win combination. That's why it's ideal combination, because you will be motivated in getting the knowledge they have, the skills they provide, technologies, and you will be giving them what you know and will be helping with what they need. So it's a win-win and super motivation and blah, blah, blah. And they will pay you as much as you need. Even if you start with a low salary, believe me, if the person they need, you just tell them, hey, I need a higher salary. Either you will find another job and they will give you counter offer, believe me. So I was working in the previous company, they fired a lot of people. So they were decreasing the team size. They were letting contractors go, right? There were some financial problems. They lost one of the clients. But when I found the job and told them, they didn't tell me, hey, okay, you can leave, we don't have money or something. No, they gave me a counter offer and I stayed, even despite all the financial problems and despite the fact that they were firing other people. Because if you're a person that really solve the problems and you work hard, and you help them to solve the problems they have, believe me, they will pay you as much as you deserve. And don't think about money. Even if you start with a small salary, you can start with any salary. But believe me, in a few months, you will get what you deserve. Because either you will leave the company and somebody else will get you, and they will see if you work, if you are a good worker, and they will see comparing you to other people. Because again, most of the people are lazy. And you, even if you work a little bit more better than they, you will get your salary because they will be liking you more than others. And if you do more, they will be counting on you more. And everybody knows, either you leave or they give you a salary you deserve. And this is how it works. So that's it. That's it about interview. Skills, guys, thank you for participating. Good news, again, for everybody who attended the course, there will be a discount for the first month at TechStart. You can take it, you cannot take, you may not take it, it's up to you. But for everybody who attended the course, at least one lesson, there will be a discount, because thank you for that. But also there are people, homeworks, I believe over here. There are people who are completing some homeworks. And Natalia Terentьева, is that Natalia that joined this lesson? Natalia, are you there? Is that you?
Yes, I'm here.
So I have one question. You are close to a big discount, but I didn't see your homework for GS1. I asked Stan and Sergey, I saw your GS2 homework today, but I didn't see GS1 after the first lesson. Is there any chance you published it somewhere?
Yes, I've done it, but I couldn't send it. But if you need, I'll send it.
Yeah, send it to, once you send it to either Sergey or Stan or in the chat, you will get another discount. So about discounts. So everybody who completed, for example, Marina, congratulations. Then Dmitry, congratulations. And also Natalia, if Natalia will send the last homework, also congratulations. You will get a big discount. It's $199 for the first month at TechStart if you consider joining the main course. So you will get a discount. So you can try the first month and then see if you would like to continue or not. Nobody said no for now, but maybe you will be the first. I don't know. Maybe you will be the first who doesn't like the course. But you get the discount. I will send it to you personally. I will send you the link that you can use to get the discount. So I need to check with Tanya as well, with Valia as well. They have completed 2 homeworks for QA only, not JavaScript. So I will ask them if they consider only QA, so I can give that discount to them as well. For the rest of the people who just joined the free class, there will be another discount. It's not as big as the other people get, so it will be $399 for the first month. Again, $399 for those who just attended at least one lesson, and $199 for those who, it's not a discount, it's a price for the first month, for those who have completed the homework. So that's it. So I will send you the links personally. For those who attended the regular class, I will just send in the chat. For those who got the big discount, I will send you the link personally in Slack. So before we leave, do similar discount for automation. It's actually for both. You start right now. It's for the first month at TechStart. Dmitry is asking, do you do similar discounts for automation? So automation is actually the long course, but automation includes manual, JavaScript, and then automation. An automation course is not like a separate course. It's just continuation of the QA and JavaScript. And there you just learn the tool. You don't learn like JavaScript, coding, etc. You learn the tool itself based on the knowledge that you got on the QA and JavaScript courses. So yeah, all right, makes sense. Yeah, this is how it works. So actually, this is just discount for you to try. And then if you like the course, if you think that the price of the course worth it, anyways, the price that we have for the courses anyways is less than everybody does. So if you go and explore, for example, I can give you an example. So if you go, so our price of the course is $5.99 a month, right? If you go and compare the other courses and the languages and how much you pay, for example, $5,000, our course is way cheaper than that. And the advantage, why we do actually month to month, because some people, there may be like a group of 30 people that start. Then 10 people or 15 people realize by the end of the first month that that's not something they like. So then we realized, okay, so to avoid that, let's do the free courses. So if people don't like our approach, don't like the QA, they don't have to start. They have to try during the free course first. And maybe those people will not join the course at all. So we will just get the people who will like the course, first of all. So actually, that's not beneficial for us, because it's beneficial to take like $5,000 from the person. Even if that person decides to leave in a month, we still got the money, we still got the 5,000, right, for that person. But we are pro people courses. We are not like pro business courses. Yeah, from business perspective, we are the worst probably company in the world. We are not business aligned, so we are not getting a lot of money, but we're doing this for the people, right? So again, there are like few options you can decide. One option is a free course. There are free courses, but the problem with the free courses, you have to learn everything on free tools. You have to use Google Docs, you have to use free Slack, not paid version. You have to use like, okay, this is how it's done in Jira, but we cannot use Jira because it's expensive, for example, right? Those are the free courses. You have some courses that is expensive and make money on you. So there is another option. And there is us between. We say, okay, we try to give the lowest price that we can, but we put you on a real project. So we pay for the all the licenses as the real company. We have all the servers, we have different environments, we have dev environment, QA environment, production environment, services, pipelines, all the tools for test case management, for documentation management, for bug tracking, all the real tools. We paid for them. We use paid Slack. We have another Slack for the students of the main course. It's a paid version that the story is saved there and everything else. So actually we pay for all of that and we just provide like lower price. So if you take your discount and try and see, okay, this is really good course for this price, and then you will continue. Or you may say, oh no, this is super expensive, but I can assure you, nobody left the course saying that it's a very high price. Nobody, because for this price, it's a super advanced course, super advanced. Because there are other courses that I mentioned for like $5,000 per course, per automation course, but they are not as advanced as us. They are still using free Slack. They are still using they're using Jira, but don't use Jira plugins that are paid for test case development. They still try to save money and make more on you, right? And how I know, because I used to work at such courses. And what we try, we're actually building the community. So the main idea behind these courses was to build a startup. But before we do that, we need to build a community. So actually we are doing these courses for ourselves to build a community of experience of the talented people. And once we have the good enough community, we will probably start working on some startups and inviting our students to those startups. So this is our main idea behind these courses. And the price is just to cover the expenses. Actually, our company doesn't doesn't get anything. So as the company, it gets $0 per month. So we actually use all monies, either for the licenses for the systems and the rest what left to pay our teachers. Right now, since we didn't get a lot, we just pay everything to the teachers. Everything that the company gets, we pay to the teachers. So this is how we work right now. So actually you try for the first month and then you see if this is something you like or not, and then you continue or not. But nobody left saying that this is a super big price. Everybody continues. And even some students, we have some we have special offers for people with disabilities. We just teach them for free. And for former students, we have a special price, $99 per month. So for example, if our student says, I'm sorry I was not sending resumes and going to the interview, so I would like to keep myself busy. So I would like to get course again. So they just, after the completion of the course, they just take the course again. So they just looking for the job and keep working on the project. This is what some students do. Not everybody, but some students do. I have some students in my automation group right now that do this. So do the course the second time just to keep themselves busy while they're looking for a job. So this is how it works. So again, I'll send you personally your discounts. For the regular discount for the people who just joined the course, I will send it in the chat. For the people who completed the homeworks, I will send you guys in the personal messages. That's it. Any questions? Okay, then it was nice talking to you. If by the chance you got any questions later, just feel free to ask me in the chat and the personal messages. You can find me either at TechStart. I'm reading the TechStart chat, or Arthur Senko. It's all on my personal chat, so you can find me either there, or just in general chat. Great input. Thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you guys for joining. It was nice talking to you. It was nice working for you. I hope that you got something after this lesson and it will be beneficial for you. So hope to see you on the main course, and thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.